Hi, welcome to this short tutorial in which I'm going to demonstrate how you can take one of your After Effects animations and export them to ultimately place them as a GIF animation in a Figma document. So let's get started. First, you will need a program called Media Encoder. If you haven't installed it yet, you're going to need to install Media Encoder. Once you've done that, let's go to After Effects. So here you can see I've just created a very basic animation of 4 seconds. I've got some motion and I've got some text appearing. So let's pretend that I've created an elaborate animation and I'm now ready to export this piece of work so that it can be utilized in Figma. The options that you have, there are two options, but I'm going to show you the better quality option. So you have to go here at the top, you'll see there's File, Edit, and Composition is the third option in that taskbar. And then you will see there are two options. The first is Add to Adobe Media Encoder Queue. That is if you want to create a low quality GIF animation, and it can be helpful to skip the intermediate step and immediately go to Media Encoder if you want to test out your animation and you just quickly want to see what it will look like. But if you want to create a higher quality GIF, you're going to have to choose Add to Render Queue. And then you'll see this Render Queue panel will open here at the bottom where your timeline was. It's just there under Comp at the moment. And you can keep the render settings to best settings. Your output module should say lossless. There are a couple of different options that you can do. If you were going to create an MP4, for example, that's a really good quality. But in this case, we want to create a lossless. And then output 2, you'll see it says comp1.avi. It automatically generated a name for us. I'm going to click on it to give it a new name. And I'm going to call this AE animation, and once I'm happy I can click render and you'll see the render progress bar, and then I can go to Media Encoder. I have already opened Media Encoder here, and you'll see there is a panel here on the right hand side, and this is your Queue panel. So there is a button that looks like a plus in the top left corner below the word Queue. You just click on it to add your new file that you just created, and I'm navigating to the folder where I saved this .avi document just now, and I say open, and there you can see, I'm just scrolling down, there it is at the bottom of this queue. Then you must make sure that from this drop down you have chosen animated GIF. So if it's not, you can see there are various formats that you can change it into, but we want it to be an animated GIF, and I don't need a transparency, so I am choosing animated GIF match the source. And then all you need to do is you click this green play button on the top right hand corner. I'm going to click on it, and you'll see again I have a progress bar indicating to me the progress of the encoding process. Alright, and then I can double click here on that file to see what that GIF will now look like. And there it is located with the same name as my .avi file. You can see it says item type. It does say it's a GIF. I can also right click on properties to really make sure that it is a GIF. Just to make sure that I don't confuse myself, I'm going to rename this document just to say GIF at the end, so I know which one is the GIF and which one is the .avi. I can double click on it to replay it in a preview. That looks fairly adequate. Alright, now we can go to Figma. I've already opened up a frame here that is the same frame size as the animation that I've created, and all I need to do is I choose this from this drop down menu of the main menu in Figma. You'll see there's File, and I choose Place Image, and then I navigate to that AE Animation 2023 GIF, this file that we have now just encoded. And I say open, and it's going to show me a preview, and I just click to place it. Right, that looks good. And if I want to have a preview to see what this animation is going to display as, I can click on the present button. It's just taking, there it is. And that quality looks good. And that's how you load a GIF into Figma.